And they'll give him the 39, actually. Gain of 1. Brush softball team has won their last 2 games by a run. Last week over Eaton, 5-4. Yesterday over Holyoke, 6-5. They're ranked 6th in the state. Great job the head coach Tom Model and his team has done this year. 8-2 is their record as they continue play through the season in Class 3A. On 3rd and 3, handoff, Weiser, and he's hit after maybe a yard, if even that. It looked like he ran into a brick wall because he ran hard right up the gut. But no gain to the 33. And once again, Valadez was in on the play. And Jordan Smith checked at Ryan Smith with a hard hit. 4th and 3. Beat Diggers with 8:13 to go, trailing 16-0 in the third. Have no choice but to go for it because they're in pretty decent field position. I said 33. It's the 38-yard line.
Yeah, I think it's a good move to go ahead and go for it right here because, the chances of punting the football into the end zone are actually pretty good.
4th down and 3. Kukas rolling to his right, wants to throw, pumps, works his way out of a tackle towards the sideline. He's not going to get the first down. There's a flag down. Now he might have gotten that first down. I don't know. I thought he ran out of room, but there is a flag down along the far sideline as he gets inside the 35 to the 34. I thought there was no way. There were too many Platte Valley defenders there, but he squirted his way around 2 guys, but this is going to be against Brush. I don't think there's any question about it. And that first down will be nullified. Oh, no, a face mask. Well, the Platte Valley coaching staff was pointing the other way. So that's going to be a first down, maybe a 5-yarder, but give C.J. Kukas 5 yards, and then it'll be 5 more incidental face mask, and the Beat Digger drive continues. So nice job by Kukas. Dave, I thought he had no chance to get that first down.
Brush lined up in that 400 formation with the flanker and the wide receiver over here on this Platte Valley side right here in front of the home grandstand, and they just ran straight down the field as far as they could, and they just tried to run those defenders off as CJ was planning on running the football the whole time, and he just showed a lot of strength and courage as he stayed in bounds and made the play.
9th play of the drive for the Platte Valley 28. Pressure coming, throws to the right side, incomplete behind Joe Rosenbrock on that little screen. But the Broncos were all over C.J. Kukas. Good job of just getting rid of the football and not taking the sack.
Yeah, that defensive end that was coming from the Beat Digger left side, from the Beat Digger bench side, that guy was flying, man. He was running 100%, and he was on a dead sprint right at CJ's back.
For great family entertainment, check out Fire Lanes, 220 Cambridge and Brush. Walk in and reserve your time today at Fire Lanes. 2nd down and 10. Rosenbrock is out. Tanner Morrow checks into the game to get some fresh legs with 7:23 to go in the third. Platte Valley leads Brush 16-0. And on 2nd and 10 from the Platte Valley 28, Kukas will pitch it left to Tanner Morrow, who swings it to the outside, cuts it back into the 25, still on his feet, then knocked down inside the 25 to around the 23, maybe the 22, but Seth Valadez, whose name we've called quite often tonight, makes another tackle. It'll be 3rd down as the football is spotted at approximately the 24-yard line to a gain of 4, 3rd and 6.
I like that play. They ran from the near hash mark here in front of the Platte Valley bench over to the Brush side. They had the whole field to pitch Morrow the ball and let him outrun those defenders. And he outran him, and he turned it upfield, but then all of a sudden there was a defender there, and he had to juke a little bit. And once he had to start dancing, that's when the Broncos closed in on him.
3rd and 6 at the 24. Handoff, Weiser left side across the 20 or towards the 20. Very close to a first down, running off left tackle before he's tripped up over there by Ryan Smith. But it looks like he's going to be about 1.5 yards or 2 yards short of the first down after the gain of around 4. 4th and 2, and the Beat Diggers are about to run the 12th play of the drive, and they've eaten up nearly half of the third quarter.
Boy, this is Beat Digger football at its best right here. It'll be interesting to see what Brush goes with, see what they decide to do, if they run it up the middle or if they try to run off tackle, or maybe they even try that quick pitching.
Well, they're going to be ready for a bootleg, so they might have to hand it off. 4th and less than 2 for the Platte Valley 20. Kukas with a hard count, hands it off to Weiser, left side, first down towards the 15-yard line. He just lowered his head, and the Broncos didn't meet him until he picked up at least 5 yards in the play, and the Beat Diggers continue to run the ball extremely well to open up the third quarter. It's a gain of 5 for Connor Weiser.
You know what I love about that play is you could see CJ, you could see in his back that he was really going with a hard count. He was really barking out there, and the Broncos, they were coming up. You could tell that they were expecting that run up the middle or maybe even a quarterback keeper. And Brush just ran over that left side again and keep the ball on their side of the field.
The official spot is the Platte Valley 14-yard line on that left side. 1st and 10 with 5:33 to go in the third. Platte Valley leading 16-0. Kukas will hand it off to Weiser, running left, slips out of one tackle, stays on his feet, and he pulls his way towards the 11-yard line. I tell you, they hit him at contact. It would have been a no gain, but instead a pickup of 3, 2nd down and 7, and it took a few Broncos to bring him down to the ground.
And I noticed Weiser's got 2 hands on that football. And, you know, he runs pretty straight up and down, but the kid that tried to tackle him was just as high as he was, and Connor showed him that if you're not going to tackle me low, you're not going to tackle me.
Let's just hope this pays off for the Beat Diggers. This is a 7-minute drive so far, and they're still not into the end zone. 2nd down and 7 from the Platte Valley 11-yard line. Tony Guzman is the receiver to the right, but more than likely this will be a running play, and it is to Tanner Morrow running off right tackle, and he fumbles the football, and it is recovered by Platte Valley at the 10-yard line. Taken away by Jordan Dunn. Check that. Billy Wilson takes it away as Tanner Morrow fumbles the football, and the Beat Digger drive goes by the wayside.
Boy, that is a backbreaker. As Brush tried to run across, but they faked the dive with Weiser over the left side where they've been having so much luck. And then Morrow kept the ball, or took the handoff over the right side, and boy, he just ran right into a bunch of Platte Valley defenders, and they stripped the ball away from him.
1st and 10 for Platte Valley at the 11. The Beat Diggers ran 14 plays in 7 minutes and 14 seconds. And they covered 55 yards of field and came away with nothing. Shotgun formation for the quarterback, Jordan Smith, on 1st down. Smith will hand it off, and breaking tackles looks like float right up the middle, and he's into the secondary. 1st down across the 22, around the 22, a gain of 11 as Brandon Rutherford makes the play.
You know, like we said, Float's only about 140 pounds, and he can't be more than about 5'5" or 5'6" tall. But the thing about him is, boy, he uses his hands. As the Diggers try to make tackles, he pushes people away and pushes them aside, and he makes a lot of plays.
4th turnover, by the way, by Brush tonight. That has just killed him. Smith will keep the ball, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage, and he got maybe now a couple of yards as he continued to drive his legs back towards the middle to the 24, maybe the 25-yard line. Joe Rosenbrock was around the football, and you can see the difference that the Beat Digger defense makes when Joe Rosenbrock is in there. They'll give him 3, 2nd down and 7.
Oh, yeah, he's a playmaker, and one of my favorite things about watching Joe is you know, just how much hustle he has. He never takes a play off, and then every single play goes as hard as he can.
2nd down and 7 for Platte Valley at their own 25-yard line. Smith in a shotgun has the football, and this time will hand it off to Float running right. He is corralled in the backfield. He lost a couple of yards. Count the Beat Diggers. Dylan French getting up, making the play. And you can just count it. There's 3 or 4 guys in there on the tackle, including Tyson Larrick. And they backtracked that football to what was the original line of scrimmage. So a loss of around 2, though, 3rd and 9.
You know, the Platte Valley's been in that shotgun. It's the same thing they've been doing the whole game. Float's lined up right next to him, and he takes the snap and hands it off to him.
3rd and 9 from the 23-yard line. Approaching the 3-minute mark of the third, Platte Valley leads Brush 16-0. Jordan Smith in a shotgun. Man in motion to the left, now resets. Smith, play action, throws a receiver screen out to the left, caught by Caleb Arnold along the sideline, and he's knocked out of bounds. Let's see if he got the 1st down. I believe he did, across the 30-yard line to around the 33. And if he's got the 33, it's a gain of 10, and the Platte Valley drive continues.
You know, it's the same play that they tried earlier with Caleb Arnold, and they completed it earlier for 8 yards, and they did it right there in front of their bench, almost in the same area.
Quick-moving third quarter. Brush had 1 drive, well over 7 minutes. Platte Valley took over after the Brush fumble. Their 3rd lost fumble of the game. 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. Again, Smith in a shotgun, has the football, will run to his right, and he's hit by Levi Brenneman, however, stays low. And the Beat Digger tackler's a little bit high across the 35 to the 36, picking up 3. So Brenneman needed some help, but he got it from Derek Lynch and Dylan French to make the tackle.
Tell you what, Smith showed a lot of strength there, didn't he? As he met Brenneman right there, but he just kept driving his legs and basically carried him 3 more yards.
2nd down and 7 for Platte Valley. John Beltran with Dave Uhrig at Platte Valley High School in Kersey. They're at their own 36-yard line. Two receivers out to the left and right. In motion is Arnold to the right. Smith has the football, option right. He's got float to pitch it to, but he'll run with the football, and he's got nothing. He took it along the far sideline, but Dylan French stayed out there, as did the left side of the Beat Digger defensive line. And they were all there to make the tackle, including Derek Lynch, who gets up limping. 3rd down and 7 from the 36.
Well, that was just a good job there by French. He strung that option out, and it was surprising to see Platte Valley run that on the far side of the field. It seems like they like to try to run that right in front of their own bench. But I'll tell you what, French didn't give up any ground, and he did a good job of stringing it out.
Darren Wilt checks in for Dylan French for the Beat Diggers. 3rd and 7 at the 36. Man in motion to the left. Smith is rolling that way. Here comes Levi Brenneman. Throws off his back foot. That pass is incomplete as Smith goes down, intended along the near sideline. Covered by Derek Lynch was Trent Fahrenbrook, the sophomore at 5'11", 150, and the Broncos will have to punch with 1:27 to go in the 3rd.
You know, this Digger defense really has done the job tonight. They've done a good job of not breaking and coming up with the big plays. That time, Kyle Muir and, like you said, Levi Brenneman both were closing in on Smith, and they had a lot of pressure on him, and I think he just threw that thing away.
Ryan Smith standing at his own 20. Shea Hansen back deep to receive. Perfect snap this time, and the ball is nearly blocked by Rosenbrock, but he gets off a nice punt that lands at the 25-yard line or 35. Takes a huge Platte Valley roll inside the 20 to the 16-yard line, and that goes for about 50 yards, and half of that at least was the roll, and the Beat Diggers not in good field position at their own 16 with 1:15 to go in the 3rd.
Yeah, you're right. You know, Diggers really need to try to field that football and zero in on how far he's kicking it and maybe try to come up with a catch or maybe a fair catch just to keep from giving up those extra yards when the ball rolls like that.
Now let's control the football here of your brush. I mean, they could have made this a game had they scored on their last possession, but they're still down 16-0 with 75 seconds to go before the break, or before the end of the 3rd quarter, I should say, which will be another break. Hansen, the receiver, to the right. More than likely, this is a run on 1st and 10 from their own 16, as Kukas will hand it off left side, and that's going to be a short gain. I believe that is Rosenbrock along the left side of the 17, gaining just a yard, and it is. Or he's hit over there by Ryan Smith. It'll be 2nd down and 9. And Dave, if the Beat Diggers can just avoid making the mistakes, and it's frustrating for us as well. That's because we follow this team, we care about this team, but you know what? They're outplaying Platte Valley in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 9 for the 17, and the ball might be loose in the backfield. No, I think C.J. Kukas just went down. Looked like there was some confusion, and the ball was bobbled back there. And at the line of scrimmage, the Beat Diggers get nothing as Kukas went down. 3rd down and 9 to go from the 17. Now, maybe the Beat Diggers should just let this 3rd quarter clock run out with 15 seconds to go, and they're going to do that with the score. Platte Valley, 16, Brush nothing. 12 minutes to go in this game. We'll get to it after this on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.